Okay, so Tim the Tatman is moving from Twitch to YouTube. Now, I don't watch him personally, and a streamer with this size of an audience moving platforms isn't a big deal by itself. I mean, Mixer tried to do the same thing with Shroud and Ninja, and we all know how that panned out. But here's the thing with his recent move, along with Dr. Lupo a few days ago, and Valkyrie's move back in January. To me, it feels like this whole thing is part of a greater shift in the gaming sphere.
Space Coconut.
There's a recent trend of people leaving their established comfort zones to move on to something new, sometimes driven by frustration in their former zone. In my case, I've drifted away from dedicated Dead by Daylight content to Final Fantasy and other game-related stuff like this. There are many players who are frustrated with the game and they try to shift to other games or simply don't play Dead by Daylight for a few days, weeks, or months at a time. They're all waiting for something to replace it or for the devs to improve the situation. This wait may end up being a longer wait than players would like. Asmongold took a break from World of Warcraft and moved on to Final Fantasy, as well as Rich Campbell and many other dedicated WoW streamers. Not only due to the recent allegations against Activision Blizzard, but due to years of poor decision-making and treatment by the devs. Not unlike the experience many Dead by Daylight players have had over the years. If these large movements continue, we may actually begin to see changes that have been needed for years. Thanks to the decline in players, WoW recently announced the implementation of many changes that have been requested for years in an attempt to win back players they've lost. This play is, of course, most likely driven by money and not by player sentiment. So when the next expansion drops, we'll see how they handle player feedback and determine if they've actually learned their lesson or not. In regards to Twitch, users have lamented the selective enforcement of rules and clear biases towards some creators over others. The mysterious banning of Dr. Disrespect is something I'm curious about, since their motives behind it might hint towards their mindset and inner workings as well. If more and more creators are poached by YouTube, and if they can clean up their gaming side of the site, then Twitch might see themselves in OMG please come back mode sooner rather than later. While I'm not going to sit here and say one company cares about these creators more than the other, I will say that if these moves do start to impact Twitch, they might actually start taking care of their problem areas more effectively. After all, that's what happened with World of Warcraft, and what I imagine will happen with Dead by Daylight. We'll definitely see that from YouTube. If they want to gain a profit from the investments they've made and the contracts they've signed this year, they're going to improve everything else to make the user experience more palatable so more people make that move from Twitch. And according to Harris Heller, they don't have a lot to do.
All YouTube really has to do is add a couple things like gifted memberships, some moderation tools, a better UI for the viewer experience, and a handful of other things here and there, and then start just buying creators. And bam, the gap is gone. But Twitch, in order to catch up to YouTube, has to create an entire VOD ecosystem. They need more than streaming. They need either long form content or short form content. They need to create that whole system, and then they need to convince their user base, their streamers, that they need to start using it. And this is what I mean by when you look at the trajectory and the potential of both platforms. I'm scared for Twitch.
A lot of the things that they need to do to emulate what Twitch does are very easy to implement. It'll be pretty nice to browse streamers on YouTube, I think. There is one more thing that I didn't think about that might make me stream on YouTube as well. Tim mentioned in his announcement video many times that the stream VODs will be available on his channel forever.
This is where all of my streams are gonna live forever.
Twitch deletes VODs for creators after various time periods. If I wanted to use something from a past stream as a reference, I would need to have the clips already made. On YouTube, my past streams are still there. This alone might be a good enough incentive to stream on YouTube rather than Twitch, even if it's not as streamer friendly. Yet. We'll probably hear of a few more creators making the switch either by contract or on their own before the end of the year. As I got ready to record this, Dowsey announced that he'd spend this week streaming on YouTube to see how things go, and as time goes on, we'll probably see more and more creators do something similar. I don't know, but I guess we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and do the YouTube things if you want to see more videos like this. Only you can save me from Dead by Daylight. In the meantime, I'm Space Coconut. And you're welcome.